Hey there, this is Karthi, and welcome to my brand new podcast. Is this on? In this podcast, I'll be talking about the latest happenings in technology, science, politics, and much more. If you want to participate in my podcast, feel free to drop in a comment and we will work something out. I'll be doing this podcast once a week, and depending on the topics, and it will vary. The time frame for each podcast will vary somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to follow this podcast here in anchor.fm. I would like to give a big shout out to anchor.fm for providing this great platform wherein people can go ahead and do this podcast and post them online. Anchor FM has also a ton of podcasts which are much more fun and interesting ones, which are being recorded and posted by people from all over the world. So don't forget to check it out. All right, enough with the introduction. Let's get on with the first episode. So recently, I was discussing with one of my friends about how the PC games have evolved so much, how the gameplay itself has changed a lot. The graphics have become have just become stunningly beautiful, and the gameplay has also evolved. The AI has also evolved, and so much and so on. While listening to my talk, he kind of, yeah, nodded his head. Yeah, I agree, but he felt that, PC gaming is such an, way to play games, and he felt it was from a bygone era kind of thing. And he said that, mobile games are much better, and it's much more easier to play. Now, being a PC gamer, I was a little taken aback, and I felt that it was not a fast statement because, see, because with PC games, you have the ability to configure the PC to a larger extent. You can change the graphics card, you can upgrade your RAM, you can upgrade your hard disk, you can make a lot of tweaks on the hardware, just on the hardware alone, to get the best performance you can get for the amount of money you're paying. Now, with the mobile phone, the problem is that yes, you have games, but the games are very limited games. That is, you can say, partly because of the hardware restrictions, but still, that even for the kind of hardware that is there right now, you still can't run games like Call of Duty or Halo or Crisis or Tom Clancy Ghost Recon and so on and so forth, right? So you can't play those games like that. Those games are really beyond comparison, right? So those the best one of the best games that you could get to play on PCs right now, and even on other uh, consoles like PS4 and Xbox One. Uh, the point is that with PC, right? So you can get the best experience that you can get out of a game. And playing game is all about experience, right? So you play the game not just to get that experience in, just to understand and feel how the game plays through, and what kind of an emotion it brings to you, which you would not be able to get the same kind of experience from a mobile phone, right? Because it has a smaller screen, it has a smaller set of speakers, and you are probably in an environment where there is a lot of background noise around you, and which does not allow you to sort of completely immerse yourself into the game and enjoy the game. But with PC, it's a completely different ball game, and I feel that his statement was not fair at all. And now, I started off with this because I am a PC gamer. I play games once a week, and whenever I get time, I play co-op, online co-op with my friends, and it's one of the best times you could ever Imagine, I mean, it's just I mean, it's just unbelievable, right? It's just great. So, yeah, so that's my points. So I thought I would start off with this podcast with one of my favorite topics, whether playing games on a mobile phones is better or there in PC, and I think it's PC is far far better. The only advantage I could say for mobile phones is that yes, you can play the games anywhere, anytime, not unlike PC, because with PC you just cannot carry that PC anywhere you go. But again, now the way the PC box itself is constructed is that you can still carry it around, but then you'll still need a huge monitor, and you need a keyboard and a mouse and everything. Though you need the whole setup to sort of run the game. But with mobile phones, you don't need that. You just can carry it in a hand, and you can I can use that. But that's the only advantage for mobile phones. So I think comparing PC and mobile, I think is just not a valid comparison, and I think it's just I think PC gaming experience beats mobile gaming experience hands down. And that's the I think that's what I have to say about it. So that's it. And okay, moving on from uh, you know from the gaming news, I would say, to a more in a more important news, I would say, is Quora, as you all know, is a site where you can post question and people answer your question to the best of their knowledge. It's one of the biggest forums that are there where a lot of people post questions and a lot of people get their questions answered. Now, this site was hacked recently. I mean, but it was hacked last week, at least. That's when these people got to know about that. So, around 100 million user accounts have been compromised, including yours faithfully. Even I got an email from Quora saying that my account was compromised. So I immediately changed my password. I disconnected all my social media accounts, and for a good measure, changed the passwords for those social media accounts that were once connected to Quora. Now, according to Quora statement, the breach was detected only on the November 30th. Forbes had an article out stating that the kind of data that was compromised includes name, email addresses, IP addresses, user ID, encrypted passwords, user account settings, personalization data, public actions, and content, which includes drafts such as questions, answers, comments, blog posts, and upvotes. The more horrifying news is that those accounts, such as Your Faithful, who have linked a few of their social media account data, has also been compromised. This includes contacts, demographic information, interest, and now invalidated access tokens. What this means is, for example, if I have linked my core account with my Twitter account, and I can what that means is that basically I can just go to quora.com and say login using Twitter account, right? I can just log in through that. What this hack has allowed the hackers to get is that not only the data that is on Quora, but all the data that is associated to my Twitter account. So I don't know what they are saying it, what other things that they are claiming that they have access to, we don't know. But what they are claiming as of now is that these hackers have got access to the contacts, the demographic information, and the access tokens, which allows you to log into Quora through Twitter. That's just it's really frustrating. The only good news is for those users who are posted anonymously and who have not created an account with Quora. So there you go. You have no impact about because of this hack. So if you are one of those 100 million affected like me, and you have received an email from Quora, first is go and change your password. Of course, you when you try to log into Quora, they would not allow you to log in. It will ask you to reset the password. So first you go and reset the password. Then go to settings, and if there is any social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn connected to Quora, disconnect it immediately. And for a good measure, go to those social media accounts which are once linked to the Quora and then reset the passwords once again. uh, it not only gives you peace of mind, but it also will prevent any further uh, you know it would simply just be a good measure of security in my opinion. And if you have not enabled a two-factor authentication, I would strongly recommend you to do that immediately. This would definitely prevent anyone from gaining access without your knowledge. Okay. And according to the reports and security experts, they are saying that this is one of the worst hacks that has taken place so far, and they are warning that users have to be careful about any offers that they receive in future. They should also check any email addresses carefully before answering them, or clicking the URL which is present in that email. So be careful. Do not download any documents or software which you have not requested, or you don't remember requesting it for. And also the security experts are saying that the data that was hacked, standalone, the data alone from Quora is actually not that useful. But let's say that your data was also hacked from some other accounts and was available through some other sources. uh, the hackers could actually create a nice picture of the data taken from Quora and from other sources, and can actually use that to create a pretty neat picture of who you are, what your interests are, where do you shop, where do you browse, and etc. and etc. And they can actually use that data to carry out further scams. So be careful about it. So this is to me is really frustrating, because as someone who understands the pitfalls of such scenarios, feel really dumb that I connected one of my social media accounts to Quora. Almost none of my social media accounts are linked to one another specifically for this reason, but somehow Quora missed that check for me. But I see this as a lesson, not only for me, but for each and every one of you, to be careful with the data you give out. This has to, you have to really be careful about what kind of data you're giving out, and what kind of security measures you set it up. This has actually given me an idea to do a podcast the following week, about how to keep your data secure, and what are the necessary pitfalls, and what you need to do just to be secure. Okay. Okay, so let's move from a very disturbing news to a more joyful news for PC gamers. The Tom Clancy The Division is on sale on Steam for at nearly 75%. The MRP of the game is around 2000 rupees and more. I think it's around 2500 if I'm not mistaken. And it's being right now sold for about 600 plus. So if you're a big fan of open world first person shooter game, I would definitely recommend to go and get it before the sale ends. I have done it, and a couple of my friends have done it, so we'll be playing that also. And yeah, go for it. So, in another interesting article that caught my eye today, was this article on Computer World website. So there seems to be this browser was still going on. I thought the browser was what had ended long time back, with Chrome leading the uh, you know uh, leading the bunch of the browsers that are available today. So it seems that the Microsoft web browser, which is Internet Explorer, or IE for short, have staved off decline for the first time since June of this year. And IE is a browser which is which to me is one of the most um, almost obsolete browser, which people still use because either they don't know there are other browsers that exist, or it's something that you just get by with. Okay. Um, the funny thing is that it has been able to hold on to its market share, even as the other browsers like Mozilla Firefox is still losing market share. Uh, I mean, that's something I mean, I found it really funny. Uh, According to Net Applications, who is an analytics vendor who tracks this browser usage and market share and so on and so forth, has reported that IE has increased by 1/10 of a percentage point to close its market share around 13.9% at the end of this month. This is very much surprising because this boost came from IE and not from its more advanced sibling Edge browser, which is now default on almost all of Windows 10 operating system. Uh, its market share, the Edge browser market share, has remained flat at 4.2%, whereas the IE browser has sort of inched towards the positive side, which is really, I think that alone speaks volume to how people use the browsers. Google Chrome, who is the who has the maximum market share, has I think it's around more than 65% of the market share of people using the browsers, and it's it has completely blown off all the competition out of the water, I would say. Um, uh, if at all, if anyone should be worried, I would say it's the Firefox, because its market share has dropped because users are moving towards Chrome. Funnily, once upon a time when IE ruled the roost, Mozilla Firefox came out with the challenge, came out and it challenged the status quo and sort of led a rebellion from the front. US Faithful was an avid Firefox user and still am to a certain degree, and was so happy to see a browser that was more secure and did things the way it's supposed to work basically. But with the launch of Chrome, Firefox has suffered pretty badly. Slower updates, memory issues, stability, etc. Caused Firefox to lose its appeal and market share to Chrome, which, funnily enough, snatched the rebellion from Firefox and ran from the front. So will Firefox fade into obscurity and Chrome will rule the roost as I once did, or will another new browser will do what Chrome did to Firefox? We'll just have to wait and see. So with that, let's move on to the last piece of news, which I thought is would be interesting to you, which is the list of new mobiles launched in India. These are budget smartphones, which are being launched in India, which will be launched in India soon. So one of them is the Meizu C9 phone, which is being launched alongside the Meizu M16 and Meizu M60 phone. I mean, this is the first time I've heard of these phones, to be pretty honest. So I was just trying to look for some of the budget phones that are being launched recently or are yet to be launched, because with Christmas around, there will be some kind of offers for people who are looking to buy some new phones. So I thought that might be a good option. So this Meizu 69 phone it has a 5.45-inch screen with HD plus display and an 18:9 aspect ratio. It has it has, I think, about 3000 milliamp battery, and it is powered by a 1.3 gigahertz quad-core processor with 2 GB RAM. It has an internal memory of about 16 GB and an option to expand through micro SD slot up to 128 GB. The camera specs of this phone, it includes a 13 megapixel rear camera with a focal f2.2 aperture with an LED flash, and it has a front-facing selfie camera with the sort of the same focal aperture. And The cool thing about this phone is that it supports unlock feature. Now I don't know how secure this software or this Mizu software is so as to run this unlock feature is, and how secure it is, or how good it is. So but they have this feature. This phone I think is likely to be launched at around maybe around 10,000 rupees maybe. Uh, but for this price point and for this specifications to have face unlock is something truly interesting to me. The other phone that's getting launched is the Realme U1, which is going on sale in India for the first time. It's likely to be launched around 11,999, which will be sold through Flipkart and Amazon. The specs for this is it has a MediaTek Helio P70 AI processor with a 6.3-inch FHD plus screen, which is full HD. It has a notch on the top, and it has two rear cameras, which is one is the 13 megapixel, and second one is an 2 megapixel AI camera with dual SIM support. You know, as with any other phones in this category, users can expand the storage using the micro SD card. They can expand it up to 256 GB. It comes with a 3500 milliamp, so it definitely you get better, battery life. One would assume. And Similar to Meizu, it also has a face unlock feature. And The rear camera, which is the 13 megapixel and the 2 megapixel, those two cameras presence allows you to take bokeh effect, in pictures, and it also allows you to take slow motion videos. Now, the slow motion videos frame per second is not clear, but I assume it must be around 30 frames per second or maybe 15 frames per second, which is kind of, I think, standard for these cameras. The other contender in the space is the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2. This is being planned to get launched on the 11th of December via Flipkart. I'm not sure this is also getting being sold by Amazon. But Unlike other phones, Asus is not at sort of revealed the specs for this phone. It's playing this very close to its chest. Uh, you know, but there are rumors that it's likely to use a Qualcomm Snapdragon ZB631KL and ZB 634KL processor. So there are supposed to be two variants of the same phone, and this phone is likely to be launched around with the price tag of about 13,999 for these specs. So that's it. You have now three phones which you could definitely think about buying for Christmas. If you're looking for some budget smartphones, there have been really, I think, my friend Giridhar, who does a lot of tech reviews of these phones, has I think has done a review recently of the Realme U1 phone. I would encourage you to go and check it out in his YouTube channel. And Yeah, that's it. That's it for now for the new mobile phone launches. With that, we come to the end of this podcast. As I earlier said, if you have any comments or suggestions, drop me a note. And if you want to participate, again, drop me a note. We will definitely talk and we'll see what we can do. Till next time, this is Karthi saying bye for now and take care.